During an investigative audit of Tulsa Public Schools released in February of 2025, we found evidence that the district's executive director of bond and energy management appeared to be using his position to generate a revenue stream for his own architectural design company. In response to those preliminary findings, the governor approved an expansion of our initial investigation. The results of that follow-up investigation sparked the interest of both the Attorney General and the Tulsa County District Attorney. This past June, the former bond director and two partners from a prominent Tulsa-based engineering firm were charged for attempting to defraud the school district of $779,000 in bond funds. Many of you reported on that situation. Today, I'm releasing our final report on the TPS bond department. The full amount of mishandled bond and other related revenue, including overpayments and misappropriation, totaled more than $3.7 million. The bulk of that amount was tied to a complex scheme orchestrated by the bond director and carried out with the cooperation of the engineering partners. At the direction of the former bond director, the engineering firm submitted falsified invoices. And because the district had allowed the bond director to exercise almost unilateral control over vendor invoice review and payment authorization, their scheme was successful. Based upon the bond director's authorization of falsified invoices, TPS school board members paid the engineering firm for work it had not performed. The engineering firm took a 5% fee off the top of those payments and passed the remaining money on to the bond director's personal company. Through this scheme, the engineering firm obtained more than $58,000 in fees, while the bond director's company received more than $2.5 million. That amount includes around $1 million for roofing services, another $1 million for interior renovations, and more than $600,000 specifically for HVAC projects. Now, neither the bond director's company nor the engineering firm performed services related to these payments. This scheme was just one aspect of what appears to have been a wider cooperative endeavor between the partners and the bond director. From 2014 to 2024, TPS paid the engineering firm $9 million for bond-related projects. During that time, the bond director had significant influence over the competitive bidding process, the selection of vendors for bond-related projects, and the authorization of payments to those vendors. It appears that the bond director used his position to extend preferential treatment to the engineering firm and to other companies. For instance, the bond director allowed the engineering firm to adopt an alternative billing method, which deviated from the required method used by another TPS engineering vendor who was contracted for the same type of project. This resulted in inflated costs, which amounted to close to $500,000 in overpayments to the engineering firm. The bond director also used his position to undermine the district's competitive bidding process and to give certain companies privileged access to TPS contracts, specifically for contracts for HVAC work. Between 2019 and 2025, TPS expended more than $85 million on HVAC-related projects. All of that work was split among 3 vendors. But the majority of the payments, almost 80%, totaling more than $67 million, went to one vendor, who I'm going to call Vendor 1. There is evidence to suggest that Vendor 1 received favorable treatment during the bidding process. For instance, on one project, another company, Vendor 2, submitted a bid that was almost $800,000 less than Vendor 1's bid. Yet without any documented justification, the bond director recommended Vendor 1's higher bid to the school board for approval. After After the district's outside legal counsel expressed concern about the bond director's lack of justification for choosing vendor one rather than awarding the contract to the low bidder, the project was rebid all over again. This time, vendor one submitted the lowest bid and won the contract. However, as it turns out, vendor one was unable to complete the project under budget. In fact, vendor one's final cost totaled more than $15 million, $5 million more than the winning bid. We also have evidence that TPS employees provided other advantages to vendor one. For instance, TPS emailed vendor one a quote, big bootleg sneak peek, unquote, of an upcoming project. The email included the equipment list for work that had not been publicly bid yet. No other potential vendors were privy to that information. Vendor one went on to win this contract as well. And once again, the cost exceeded the original bid. In this case, the project's total costs were more than $20 million, about $6.7 million more than vendor one's winning bid. There's also evidence that the bond director promised a contract to vendor two on the condition that vendor two withdraw his bids on two other projects, presumably so that those contracts could be awarded to vendor one and another company who had both submitted higher bids. Tit-for-tat arrangements are not supposed to be any part of the competitive bidding process. Rather, the purpose is to ensure that taxpayers get the best quality service for the best market price. It appears the bond director had other priorities. Another plan that warrants attention relates to TPS's HVAC and lighting utility PSO rebates. By installing energy-efficient HVAC and lighting systems, TPS qualified for a total of more than $2 million in rebates from PSO. Without the school board's approval, the bond director authorized a newly established LLC owned by one of the engineering firm partners and two of their employees to process more than $1.8 million worth of rebates on behalf of TPS. Without the board's knowledge, this newly formed LLC retained 30% of those rebates, totaling more than $547,000. It should also be noted that TPS was reimbursed for the cost of its new energy-efficient HVAC and lighting systems through ESSER funds. Those were the elementary and secondary school emergency relief funds that were part of the state's federal pandemic relief fund. Now, per federal guidelines, TPS was supposed to return any rebates involving ESSER funds to the State Department of Education so that it could remit those rebates back to the federal government. Largely as a result of the rebate scheme described above, TPS failed to return more than $837,000 worth of ESSER funds to the State Department of Education as required by federal law. TPS paid the bond director $130,000 a year to oversee bond projects and safeguard taxpayer dollars. But for more than 10 years, he operated a personal business out of his district office on the public's dime, utilizing district contractors and staff as well as his TPS email account to conduct private business. He also developed schemes to further exploit his access to tax dollars. While the bond director's schemes were complex, the failure of the school board members to provide proper oversight for taxpayer funds was also a factor that enabled him to misappropriate millions of dollars. Now, members of the school board bear ultimate responsibility for all transactions covered in this report. Yet the board and the school administration appeared to give the bond director free rein, rubber stamping his recommendations without proper review. TPS is one of the largest districts in Oklahoma, but the lack of proper board oversight is a problem in districts of all sizes across Oklahoma. The fact is, many school board members do not have the basic training necessary to safeguard our tax money. The same thing goes for other types of governing boards in Oklahoma. There is an urgent need for better training for all types of board members. My office will be holding a boot camp for board members in multiple locations across the state this fall. We hope that it's going to help resolve some of the issues that are leading to waste, fraud, and abuse in Oklahoma. The purpose of this training is going to be to empower board members to understand their authority and obligation that they have to establish appropriate guardrails for public funds and provide transparency and accountability of tax dollars. Now, at this time, I'd be happy to take any questions that you might have. Shorter audit than normal. Yes, sir.
Can you clarify the year range for this portion of the audit that you're presenting today?
Yes, and it'll be on the front page of the report. I think this covered, we looked at 10 years worth of activities by the bond director and how those funds were utilized.
And how much were you able to see to conclude that the Board of Education provided little to no oversight?
Well, I think it's obvious whenever you look at the fact that a contract for some of these services were never placed before the board. If you looked at the agenda and you listened to the meetings, you could see where the bond director would show up, talk about what was going to happen, and they would give approval at that point without actually looking at a contract placed in front of them. And I just want to emphasize that board members need to understand those contracts are legally binding. They need to be approving those and making sure that what they are authorizing and approving for tax dollar funds are actually what the district is getting back in return.
Does it seem to you that there were kids going to school in Tulsa that were sitting in hot classrooms or cold classrooms or classrooms with leaky roofs that should never have happened but did because of this?
That was not part of our audit. Again, this audit covered many years. And so we're looking at contracts, actual services received, and the amount that was paid out, that we could not verify the school received what it paid for.
Could you explain a little bit in greater detail about the federal implications of the ESSER money that you said was not repaid in the State Department of Education as required? What did you mean by that, and what are the bigger implications of that being federal?
Okay, well, this isn't just about ESSER funds. Typically, whenever there are any rebates or insurance money that comes back in after federal funds have been awarded, you're supposed to return that portion of the funds back. So in this instance, Tulsa Public Schools got ESSER funds for the same thing that they were getting rebates back from, and so that amount should have been returned back to the State Department of Education, and then they would have been responsible for alerting the federal government, hey, we need to return these funds, or can they be utilized for something different?
And can that still occur? Can they be required to pay that back now?
Potentially. Again, there's never any way to know exactly how the federal government will hold you responsible or who they will hold responsible. So, yes.
The last time you presented or planned to present a state audit on Tulsa Public Schools, I believe, was February of 2025. But you said the district invoked a 1999 state statute that delayed going into detail of these for 2 weeks because they said that they were not consulted, had not got a chance to read or review. What was different this time that allowed you to do this in full?
Thankful for that question, because I do think it's important to point out that in this audit, Tulsa Public Schools, the administration and the school board was very cooperative. They wanted to understand this situation, and they want to take steps to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again. So we've talked to them, the team has talked to them about what they need to do, and we believe that they are taking those things under consideration to make it better.
So this has been viewed and reviewed by them?
Yes.
How much time did they get to do that?
2 weeks.
So you presented this in 14 days?
Yes. Maybe a little longer than that even.
Have they communicated any steps that they've taken to try to prevent anything like this from happening again?
Well, anytime in any entity that you find something like this, you've got to do a top-down, analysis of where your weaknesses are, who you've allowed to have unilateral control over some operations, and where, the potential fraud, waste, or abuse could be occurring. So it's not something they're going to turn around overnight. I think that they will probably look at this and get additional help.
Does the district have a internal auditor for such things? And if so, how had this gone unnoticed for so long, where these funds were kind of, I would imagine, looked a little very mysterious, hence why your office and department has stepped in.
Almost every audit we report to you that rises to this level of communication has been based on putting too much trust in an individual, allowing them years of unilateral control. And it's one of those things that no one expects it to happen, and then whenever it does, they're usually surprised, and it lends to a better situation going forward. I expect the environment at Tulsa Public Schools to be one of great accountability. They have a lot of students. They have a lot of needs up there with the services they provide to those children, and I know that they are taking that responsibility serious.
Well, what I was asking was, do they not have their own audit staff to account for these funds?
Well, they have an external audit once a year, and sadly, a financial statement audit doesn't always report on these types of issues. Now, I think that would be a good question for that auditor as to what they have found in their past audits. That would not be for me to speak for them. Look at their audit findings, but essentially we find this situation a lot. There are no audit findings in reports, and we will come out with something that shows large amounts of misappropriation. So it's not just Tulsa Public Schools with this issue, it's a systemic issue. Mary, you had a question?
Thank you. And forgive me if you touched on this already. I just wanted to touch on the ESSER money and the PSO rebates, how they sort of received double the amount that they should have. Did you all see did all of that money go toward that purpose, or did some of it get spent on a purpose that misaligned with the intended purpose should have been? I'm curious kind of where that extra money went.
Well, and I think it's a very important question. And again, those ESSER funds, the school board had no idea that the bond director had authorized this LLC to take 30% of the rebates that were coming in. The money did come back into the school, but again, whenever that's being taken like that, they had no idea that they were violating any federal laws. There just weren't controls in place to truly know what was going on, and it was in the hands of one individual.
And the ESSER money, though, did they end up spending it? Did it shield?
Well, the ESSER funds were spent one way, and then the rebate money came in, and while they took 30% off the top of it, the LLC, the Tulsa School Board may not even have been aware that that rebate came in, to where there was a situation where they would have to pay it back. I don't want to call it double dipping because I'm not sure that the school board fully understood what that responsibility was for that.
Back in June, there was a news conference with the Attorney General and the Tulsa County District Attorney, which laid their own findings of the bond director with a number count is around $780,000. So I'm curious what your findings, if at all, differ from the findings of the Attorney General's office and Tulsa County DA.
The charges that were put in place back in June were a portion of these. Our audit, again, and it was just ready, a couple of weeks ago, had several different elements of how the money was being misappropriated. So there are additional situations here that the Attorney General's office is currently looking at. The Attorney General has put a press release out to say there are, could still be charges pending. They're still looking at this. This is still an ongoing investigation. And, just so you know that the AG's office, we did let them see what we were putting out to make sure it didn't interfere with their investigation. But Tulsa Public Schools is ready to put this behind them, I believe, and it was good to get this out so before the new school year and get started.
Do you believe that they have now put in place guardrails, personnel to prevent something like this?
That would take an additional audit to really determine that, but I'm optimistic for them. I think they understand the severity of this situation based on the communication with the audit staff, and I believe they're going to do their best. I do want to say one thing additionally. This audit staff that conducted this audit is just pretty amazing. And the one auditor who discovered this in the emails, it's very rare for this type of collusion and misappropriation to be discovered because you have the ability to cover it up. So I really just want to say thank you to that team and that auditor who trusted her gut instincts to go forward.
What's your bottom line message to like Tulsa parents that are watching this tonight?
I believe Tulsa Public Schools is headed in a new direction, and sometimes it takes seeing some really bad actors do bad things to realize that you have problems that need to be corrected. I don't want Tulsa Public School students and teachers or students and parents to lose faith in their district, because from situations like this, I have seen not just school districts, but even cities come back and be stronger than ever based on what they've had to go through.
Based on your findings, does your office know if any of the Board of Education members thought something was off at any point before findings were released?
I'd rather not speculate on that. I know that during our interviews previously, there was some resistance there, but no one really understood what was going on. They didn't understand what we were seeing through the course of the audit. The team that does this is very experienced. They know red flags when they see them. And we knew at that time there were bigger issues even than just what we reported in the Part 1 audit.
Just to go back to the physical condition of the schools, I know you're focused more on the money, but do you feel like that there are some structural issues or some facilities issues that Tulsa's going to have to address now that should have been addressed prior to this because of money that was misspent?
Well, sir, I never went and toured any of these campuses or facilities in person, but I can say this. There's a lot of money that's been misappropriated. So either taxpayers paid too much, or else the children and the students didn't get what they should have gotten as a result of this bond money. It's one of the two.
Any other parts coming out on TPS in the future, or is this?
No, we're through.
That's it, you said?
We're through, yes. Okay, well, thank you all for coming. I know this was a very small audit, but it was important to be able to understand the collusion, the moving parts, and how this happened, and even give you the opportunity to understand why this is an ongoing investigation and charges have only been filed on one portion of it at this time.